how you know you're winning competitions. You're chilling, you know what I'm saying? You've been on, like, you know, some type of exposure, and you know you're getting there. You're rubbing shoulders with other artists and other artists that are doing shit.
Okay, so I think the context I put it in was kind of misleading, because what I meant it in was in the sense of right now, I won't lie, I love what's happening right now, because the new guys are setting the tone when it comes to what feeling and emotion is in hip hop right now.
100%.
I remember a time when I watched the XXL Freshman class that had 21 Savage, Uzi, and all of them. Like, a lot of people were like looking at me funny because I liked that cypher. Like, I enjoyed that cypher. Because when I watched that cypher, I was like, okay, shit. So this is how it's evolving, and these niggas, as much as people can say this is a niche market, or this is like one thing, they all clones or whatever, I could hear the individuality in all of them. So one thing I will say is that I love the way hip hop is growing. I just feel like the effort that used to be put into a body of work isn't what it used to be, because it feels like it's here today and then it's gone tomorrow. But back in the day, I won't necessarily say that was the golden era. I just feel like back in the day, guys really took the album seriously, like to a point where
100%.
Like, everything that is the best in this let's say maybe it took them 9 months to make an album. In this 9 months, everything that is the best, we're gonna put this into this project. Because I noticed recently, there's still niggas who do that shit. I mean,
Meek Mill.
Look at Tyler.
Yeah, Igor. Meek Mill as well. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like, for me, the reason why I'm saying Tyler right now is because people like DJ Khaled think, DJ Khaled, Nick, you know what I compare him to, man? I compare him to that kid who had like all the full kit to play sports, but he never made the team. He sucked. Like, because he had every artist right now
Fraud of facade
that we thought was hot, but the album sucks. And look at what Tyler did alone and just with a few friends, and look at what J. Cole did with Dreamville. Like, J. Cole literally schooled DJ Khaled on how it's supposed to be done. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he did it.
Yo, but I never looked at it that way. Because I watched that documentary as well. I couldn't get enough of it. I think I watched it 5 times. No,
like,
I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Like, I'm just saying, like, for me, what do you think is the difference between what Tyler and J. Cole and Dreamville did as compared to what DJ Khaled did? Like, that's what I was talking about when I say the effort into making an album.
You know what? It goes back to what I was saying about the generic formula thing. You see, DJ Khaled, you know, it goes back to the generic formula thing. See, DJ Khaled, that generic formula, it worked in 2017. Wow. You know, Wild Thoughts, big record. I loved that guitar riff, especially when I heard it with Carlos Santana back in the day when I first heard it. So when it was brought back, I was like, you know what, Khaled, definitely. Even his Breakfast Club, he was so sure. He's like, man, I got this hit record, you know what I'm saying? I got this hit record, and you know it's gonna be #1. And he came there the first day at Breakfast Club before Wild Thoughts got released, and then when he dropped the record, oof, it was over. It was Khaled's season. So it's like, you know, you start getting into that process of you don't go back to the drawing board. You know, it just felt like DJ Khaled stopped, you know, like making an effort. Like, listen, I've mastered. No, if Khaled went back to the drawing board, Tyler been going back to the drawing board, man. His whole career. Odd Future Tyler was not Cherry Bomb Tyler. Do you understand? Goblin Tyler, you know, just raped a pregnant chick. We called it a threesome, you know, like, he was not rapping like that on Cherry. Well, he was rapping like that, but it was way more refined. It was way more masterful. But something about Cherry Bomb felt like this was the first time I'm listening to Tyler. That's the going back to the drawing board effect, because he did the exact same thing on Scumfuck Flower Boy. And now when I'm listening to Ego, I melted. I was like, this is not the same dude I've been listening to. When I heard Earthquake, dude, it touched my heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should actually hear this girl. Her name is Motaki. Shout out to Motaki, by the way. She's one of the best vocalists I've ever worked with. 19 years old, straight out of PTA. You should hear her cover of like Tyler the Creator's Earthquake. You know what I mean? But back to what I was saying, like, they reinvented themselves, went back to the drawing board. That's the difference between what Khaled did and what all the greats are doing. Dreamville, they started from scratch. They said, let's find somewhere, let's lock in, and we're just gonna invite people. Personal invitation, you know what I'm saying? You see Ross there. Ross is listening to all these unknown producers. Unknown. Why didn't they just go to Metro? Drawing board. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, they could have gone to London, even made a whole tape out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dreamville was literally showing you, like, this is how it's supposed to be. Dreamville effectively did what Odd Future's been doing. What Odd Future was famous for, Dreamville did that. You know what I'm saying? What Odd Future was famous for, Dreamville did that. And that's why I use both those examples, because that's how it's supposed to be. Like what you said, it's how it's supposed to be done. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, absolutely. Like, you gotta go back to the drawing board. That's effectively what Khaled can take from Tyler and J. Cole. Because these guys stayed reinventing themselves. After Sid was a solo artist, you know, started again with the internet. Tyler was with the rest of the squad and did Loiter Squad. He wasn't an experienced like TV personality, but people knew that, and then got the camera training and started doing that, and he started trolling, he started vining. Like, Tyler just reinvented himself. As you grow, you only reinvent yourself by going back to the drawing board. Khaled had a system. It worked in 2017, but it doesn't sing as well in 2019.
True. So let's take this same notion and bring it across the ocean. Why is it for me, and I'm not saying this to offend niggas or anything like that, but if you get touched, it's fine. All I'm saying is, why is it that when you come back to this side of the border, I feel like the effort gag bullshit. I feel like the effort bullshit. Like, I feel like there are niggas who put in the work, man, and I do single out these niggas. I'm not gonna say them right now, but I do single out these niggas, and these niggas do put in the work for me, like, and I can see it. I can see the product. Even there are like a few mainstream cats who are doing it still for me, but then the most that I hear, especially from South Africa, the most that I hear, if it's not the same, it's whack. What is going on? What are we not doing that Tyler and Dreamville are doing? What are we not doing to push like our own, like the same way you said Tyler evolved in his music? What are we not doing this side to evolve in our music? Feels like we're stuck.
There are few people that I'll be able to mention that I can disagree with what you're saying. Namely Zakwe, Sjava, and OK Malone Cool Cats, and Youngster CPT. You see, why I mentioned those guys is not because of the predictable, they're being close to their roots and they're applying them. No. These dudes ain't following the wave. they're different. These dudes are literally trying to control their own wave. Now, as far as the English rappers are concerned, we don't trust ourselves the way J. Cole and Tyler do. You know, I'm even gonna talk about myself. Let me speak for myself real quick. There's the pressure to want to be appealing. There's the pressure to want, because you want to do numbers. You don't want people to get to know you. That's a gamble. You want to do numbers. You want to win, you know? Shane Eagle, who I should have mentioned as well, he was brave enough to say, to hell with y'all. Okay, cool, I'll trap sometimes, but that ain't what I'm all about. In this day and age, it's easier to try and be Patrick XX Lee than it is to try and be Tyler, to be honest. And that's no knock at Patrick XX Lee, because he's an amazing artist. But I see way too many people trying to, you know, they can't do what Patrick does. You know what I mean? They can't do what Patrick does. A lot of niggas is trying to come up off of his shine and shit like that. Because why? Because, you know, you want to be appealing. You want to be accepted. You want people to accept you as a rapper. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, you want people to love what you're going to be. And, you know, you're not sure of yourself. You don't love yourself. But also at the same time, I also believe it's not people taking time out to work hard on themselves as artists. You know what I'm saying? I know that was my thing, because it was always, yo, Sham, we need a radio record. Sham, we need a hit record. Sham, we need this. Sham, we need that. Sham, we need that. I remember when I made, like, you know what I mean? Like, when I made the record that was supposed to make me blow up in 2012, it was called Ciroc and Roller. No one really cares about that song anymore. I'm way better now. That's besides the point. You know, I remember after that, my music kind of declined, because now I was just trying to have a #1 hit record, and I was just trying to do that. And you know, it's like I stopped making music I believed in. Then I started just listening to what's real. And you know, and still I wasn't appealing. I made songs where I sampled the Gorillaz and Lauryn Hill, and like I spat so many great bars on that. And like it was like real hip hop. Then I started making that. I put it out. No one tried to receive me. Do you understand? I wrote a song called Delicacy. I sampled Empire of the Sun. You know, a lot of people tell me that's a great record, but then when I sent it out, you know, no one was trying to listen to that, you know? I've tried to be myself, you know what I mean? And then in 2015, I made a song called Bodyshots. And then in 2016, it gets used for Tempe Pushes. I get the email from Tempe Pushes saying we want to use your song. First time I ever got royalties. First time I could be able to say now I'm an artist who actually made music for DSTV. No, for TV, because my song for DSTV came a year later when I did the soundtrack for Love and Dance. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but you see what I'm saying? It's like when the commercial record came through, the money came through. You want to see results as an artist. But then I've gotten to the stage, me personally, I've gotten to the stage where I had to do a lot of things to prove myself. I even did a record with this artist named Dice, and then it was the biggest record I ever did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Chart topping, 20K views on the first day, you know, like it was everything, you know what I mean? But then now I've gotten comfortable in a place where personally I want to change that and see if I can change the narrative of my career. You see, there's that thing of wanting to change the narrative. Are you daring enough to? I can speak for myself when I say that I'm daring enough to because I've been at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm daring enough to because I'm at it right now. My latest record, people loving it. It's doing well on the radios. It's on different stations, you know, international radio play and everything, you know, and the reception is crazy. And it's not even a commercial record. It's not even a trap record. I already released my commercial record. You see, the problem is people don't know what kind of narrative they want to have for their career. You know, they want to make the record that gets them popping, and then they want to keep doing that for as long as they need to. Then their music loses their soul. Sometimes now like I mastered my craft to a point that if I need a commercial record now, I'm gonna make one, and then I'll put it out. But when I'm done doing that, once I've got your attention, I got something to say. You know, I just put out a commercial record, No Sympathy. One of the, Respect the Plug, you know what I mean? Spectrum, he's one of the biggest bloggers in Zimbabwe, actually the biggest blogger in Zimbabwe. That blog called that record a summer smash, you know what I'm saying? I was done doing that. Now I released my club record, you know what I'm saying? That song was hot even before I put it out. I even performed for 9 months. I'm done on the scene. Now you see my next album, like, no, not my next album, my next EP, Rotten Soul, you know what I mean? That's where I'm literally trying to now challenge the audience that I've garnered, you know, challenge the people that are listening to my music. And my latest record, you know what I'm saying, it even has like a profound statement, cheaters ain't born, they're made. See, that's the wave I'm on right now, you know what I mean? This is the most personal project I've ever had, you know what I mean? I'm not out here like, you know, making like, you know, the party stuff, it's still you're gonna find that on the record, but then now I'm challenging the guys of music. I'm not saying it's gonna be successful, I'm not saying I'm doing a better job, I'm not saying that none of these niggas can fuck with me even though they really can, but that's not what I'm saying right now. But what I'm definitely saying is that, like, I'm actually taking what you just said and I'm applying it to myself. I'd rather tell you what I'm doing about it than criticize all these other rappers like, nah, niggas ain't doing this, niggas ain't doing that. No. I see what niggas ain't doing, but I don't want niggas to talk about me like that. Cause success or no success, you know, this is what I'm doing about it. I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly how I feel as well. I feel like, you know, people don't get it. They don't understand the process and they're not trying to understand the process. You know, people, we're too busy trying to follow what they're doing instead of following what they're chasing. You see, that's the difference between imitating from somebody and being influenced by somebody. You know what I mean? Because when you're influenced by somebody, I'm trying to see what you're trying to accomplish. I'm not trying to learn what you do back and forth so I can copy it. Because no one's gonna like me the way they like you.